that they always talk about one major thing? It's not only numbers, it's scoring. How many goals did they get? But then it's how many championship rings, it's how many World Cups. So when I heard that, everyone looks at the two best players that have ever played is Messi and Ronaldo, it's funny that Ronaldo has more goals than he does, but he does not. He does not have a World Cup. He has not won the golden ball. And so, why will maybe Pele go down being the best? He's won three. He's won three. And so, one of the things I want to share with each and every one of you is a lot of people always say, I'm stuck, I'm confused, I'm not motivated, I'm frustrated, I'm overwhelmed, blah, 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 blah. They're victim mode, they're blame mode, victim, my upline won't help me, I can't succeed, no one, I grew up on the wrong side of the street, all of these things, right? And I want to share something with you today while I was watching this. See, the only reason that I was watching it is I knew it was the final game. And I didn't know when it started. And so all of a sudden I go on Google and I find out that it's tied 3-3. The game is over. And now it's going into a kickoff. I didn't know that they did this. But, whoever you want to believe's up there. I call it God, the universe, or whatever. So for me to tune in where it's over and now both teams get to do like a penalty kick and the best out of 5 wins. And so I get to see the best of the best of the best going against goals to see who wins. And I thought, how fascinating. Nah, this is just the way my life is. Why? Why? Because I consistently look and I'm addicted to the human potential. The human potential. I posted yesterday, the day before, this song where, the girl on America's Got Talent won the golden buzzer. I like Survivor. I like Big Brother. I like American Race. I love anything. The Olympics. All kinds of sports. The Voice. There was this show on for a while. I don't know if it is still on, but people would go and work directly with people that wrote a song. So you would write a song, they would pick, and then you would get to sit down with people and learn how to make that song into a hit. And, from the time that I was a little kid, I don't know why I'm fascinated with people creating things. See, I know that I was created, and I know that no one's got my DNA, but I also know that my goal in life is to create. And when I create, it makes people happy. You know what I mean? If I used to, fix their bike or fix their go-kart or their mini bike or their motorcycle and then their car. And then, me and my friends, we would create race cars from nothing. Just starting from scratch. Thank you, John. And so I thought of this. And I thought, I'm not one of the people that spend a lot of time watching nothing. What I mean by that is watching a show or a series or whatever. If you guys came randomly in my house, I would not only be working on my laptop, creating and trying to inspire other people and give them hope that what I do is possible for them. They don't need to make millions of dollars a year. They could just make more money than they're making now. And I don't spend much time watching drama. I don't spend a lot of time of watching shows where people are mean to each other. It like turns me off. It It's like ick, that every other word, beep, beep, you beep, 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 and then flip over a table. I'm not that guy. And I'm not a news guy. You know what I mean? I don't follow division, and I don't follow people being mean to each other. I could not watch Twitter at all. I'm like, wow, these people just sit around and these trolls, these ugly people that don't have anything good to say are just constantly just beating the crap out of people. Why? For a click? For someone to share and be upset? So I thought I'd share this with you. At the beginning of this year, like I did last year, I'm going to start up on the first of the year. And the first thing that my mentor taught me in the very first training is he asked me to log what I did on a daily basis. He said, just log what you did. 2 reasons he wanted us to do this. Is garbage in, garbage out. How much on a daily basis are you being influenced by garbage? Drama, news, the weather's affecting. Have you guys ever seen a good weather report? It's like, man, it's the coldest, it's the worst, and this is impacting 50 million people, and shootings, and people dying, and triple disease. You know what I mean? We got the flu and COVID and this new respiratory disease for kids, and it's like, my God, if I spent all that time not being inspired, I totally get it why people are like, the world's going to end. I'm going to try to do as little as possible, and just complain. So I'm going to do as little as possible and just complain. You know what I mean? And then I believe that people watch stuff because then we hear how bad it is, and then we sort of go, well, geez, at least my life's not that bad. What is the opposite? The opposite is consistently watching something that inspires you. So if you watch me reaching out to people all day, every day to inspire brand new people that have lost hope and they don't even know how to be inspired anymore, and I love sharing with them, things that my mentor shared with me, you know what I mean? To always have gratitude, to always be inspired, to always believe that I could do more. And I'm constantly watching stuff like this. Movies. Have you ever went online on Google and put in the most inspirational movies? See, and don't get me mad. I mean, don't get mad at me. I'm just not going to talk about any genre or stuff where I'd watch where it's uninspiring. In fact, it's not only uninspiring, for lack of better words, it pisses me off. It puts me in a place where I get to be judgmental. I watch something and it changes who I am because I'm pissed off on how evil and how awful people are. Don't get mad at me, but I think that the world's been that way from the time that history started. So I want to be focused on inspiration. I want to be focused on being inspired. So while I'm connecting with people, if I'm watching TV all by myself and my wife's not there and it's just on there for noise, there's 2 things. The TV is usually off and I'm on the internet being inspired, inspiring other people. Or I watch Motor Trend and I watch these shows of people rebuilding and creating these incredible vehicles. There's still that part of me where, making something with my hands and watching the techniques and the stuff that these guys do that create. So my thought was, what is the most inspirational movies? What are the most inspirational books? What are the most inspirational shows? What are the most inspirational songs? Because when I watch Braveheart or I watch Field of Dreams, when I watch movies about, hey, isn't Maverick and Top Gun, is that a little inspirational? And it's like, I love watching movies that lift my spirits, that lift me up, that allows me to be able to believe in the human spirit, the human potential of leaving a legacy. So like I've said on some of the videos, I really wanted around Christmas and the end of the year to just talk about single subjects. And I didn't realize till today when all of a sudden I just feel, I feel like the universe, God, is like, you gotta tune into the World Series. I mean, World Cup. You need to tune in. I wonder where this is. And then I looked and, it was 2-0. And I was like, it looks like Argentina's going to win this. Then it's 2-2 on Google. And then all of a sudden it's 3-3. And I'm going, wow, this is going to get down to the last minutes of a football game, American football game. So I started looking around. I found it, and it just finished, and they were talking about, oh my God, if Messi wins this is something he's been looking for all day. Why do I love being inspired? That's pretty obvious, isn't it? So the songs I listen to inspire me. The movies I watch inspire me. The things that I constantly are plugging in, garbage out, inspiration in, inspiration out. Inspiration in, inspiration out. That's what I post on my Facebook. I post inspiration, things that move me, things that make me want to do something today, things that make me want to reach out to people less fortunate to me and go, wow, there's a better way. There's a better way than working for somebody that doesn't appreciate you, that pays you just enough money to not quit. There's a better way. And I'm not asking people to quit their job. I'm saying, hey, listen, there is a way. I was on workman's comp, and in being on workman's comp, if I did anything else that actually generated money, I had to tell my workman's comp counselor or whatever it was. I couldn't wait to tell workman's comp, don't pay me this month. Don't pay me this month. I made 10 grand. Don't pay me this month. You got these people, it's like, I'm on disability and I need to stay in poverty so the government will continue to take care of me. Oh my God. Because they just become too comfortable. So my question to you is, how much time on a day-to-day basis do you purposely get inspired? You're not stuck. You're not confused. You're not frustrated. You're not overwhelmed. You're not a victim. You're uninspired. You're just uninspired. Now, here's what I love about this industry. My God, does this industry have inspirational stories. So when I first met my mentor, I was inspired. Are you kidding me? You worked at a tire store? Are you serious? You worked at a tire store and installed car stereos? And you're making 62 grand a month? The more that I got into this industry, the more I knew it was professionals, it was doctors, it was lawyers, it was accountants, it was homeless people. Man, I spoke on a stage one time for Eric Worre. And one of the things, this was the first time I was on a panel before I spoke 5 times and closed out his event. But we're going down telling the stories of people that were there. And everyone was like, hey, I was homeless. And then, I found this book, or I was in drug rehab, or I was an alcoholic, and I was in prison. And we were inspired. And we found someone that went, and it's in the video that I did, I can do this. So all of a sudden I see somebody and he goes, Robert, you could do this easy, man. I'm going like, I'm dyslexic. I'm a special. I'm a felon. I'm a lot of things, right? And I'm sure not a success. Lack of self-confidence, abandonment issues, victim issues, blaming everybody. Someone got to me and they gave me hope. And they got me focused on things other than me. And when I got inspired by other people in this industry and what they could do, and I found out what their backgrounds are, young, old, every race, every religion, every background, I went, this is for me. This is for me. That you can take misfits from Misfit Island. And I've been able to take people from the poorest countries. And those families, and that person ends up to be the very first person to be able to, buy a car. The very first person to buy a home. The very first person to pay for their family to join them. All over the world. And I'm addicted to being inspired. Are you? So it's funny. I've never done this video before. I just thought of this today. Robert, why do you consistently seek out human beings and watch human beings that are the best of the best, that have dreamt their whole entire life? And what I love about every story is how much people have to go through bad things. They got to go through injury. They got to go through sickness and death. And they have to go through family members. They have to go with being laid off. And, Messi was told he was too small. He was too small. He was too small. You ever heard that story? Last year, I was inspired by, the warrior, Stephen Curry. To think that he's won a world championship and he's too small, so he learned to shoot 3-point shots and he's now number 1. But they won a world championship and he never won the MVP. He never won the MVP award. Why? Why didn't he win this other trophy? They walked up to him and said, because you're not a defensive player. You're not a complete player. You're a good point guard. You're the best 3-point shooter. You're good at assists, but you're not a good defensive player. And here's a guy that's won all the awards, been on all-star games, won championship rings. And he went, I could do better. I can do better. I'm going to practice on being a good defensive player. They won the world championship last year, and he got that MVP trophy. Why? Because he focused on being better than him, not competitors against somebody else. What are you doing every day to make yourself better? It's called Kaizen. The never-ending improvement of making yourself a little bit better each and every day. We all can do better. So, how much time are you on a day-to-day basis being inspired? There's so many success stories in my industry. I watch it. You guys probably think I'm nuts when I'm saying this. But it's like, I actually watched a video of Dexter Yeager and Bill Britt, I believe his name was, on Amway's channel. They won a hero award. And both of them I think Bill Britt had like 1.4 million active people in his organization. That's inspiring to me. Knowing that one day, maybe, there'll be a group of people that have said that I had something to do with their life. That I was an inspiration to them by leading by example. Wow, what a legacy. That guy inspired me. That guy inspired me. That guy inspired me. That gal, that woman inspired me. That woman inspired me. You don't think that you can be inspiring. You become inspiring by constantly plugging in inspiration. Did you guys hear that? You become who you hang around. I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about the stuff that goes in here. The stuff that goes in here. The reason I'm so successful is because I'm inspired by Josh Swagel. I'm inspired by Jenna Swagel. I'm inspired by the other super affiliates. If they did it, I can do it. Chris Robinson inspires the bejesus out of me. So it's their inspiration of stories of already what they did in MDC that got me to go, if they can do it, I can do it. So the next time you're saying, I'm not motivated, and I don't know why I won't call people, and I don't know why I won't do this for my family. Oh, woe is me. I probably figure out that you need a little more inspiration. Man, if you go to YouTube and put in inspiration, I was telling my wife about this song, Daydream. Darling, don't give up your daydream. And I posted it on my Facebook. And I was telling her about this song, and I couldn't explain it to her without choking up. I couldn't explain the story of her basically saying, I'm a songwriter. I wrote this song, and I just got a record deal, and then my mom got sick and caught cancer. And she is just giving me so much. She's giving me so much that I just couldn't do what the contract told me to. So I took care of my mom. And I lost my record deal. I lost my contract. And Simon said, I hope your mom's okay. And she said, well, my mom's no longer here. But now that she's not here, I'm going to give it another go. And Simon even asked her, like I shared in another video, do you think that you can do it? She goes, I don't know if I'm going to make it through it without crying, but I'm going to give it my best shot. And she started singing, and I got to stop talking about it. I love feeling that. I love feeling and listening to stories of human potential, of people that were against all odds. That's where Rudy comes from. Man, I got to watch Rudy again. Rudy. Small person like Messi. I watch those videos where they take the person that might be mentally slow, autistic, or Down syndrome, and they're like the uplift and the joy of the team, the basketball team, the football team. And what ends up happening at the end of the year, maybe their last year or whatever, they allow them to go in and play. They allow them to make a shot. And you watch the other team that they're playing against help the opposing team because they're so inspired by this person, and they're so inspired by all the people that they're inspired. And then that person makes the shot or gets the touchdown, and the bleachers on both sides clean out and all come on stage to share that celebration. In closing, listen to this. Oh my God. Argentina is pretty far away from Qatar, the Middle East. And they were talking about fans that sold everything they had, including their car. Fans. Why would someone sell everything they have to go watch a football game, a soccer game? Why would they stand in below zero weather with no clothes on, no shirt on, painted yellow and green? Why would fans be this crazy? Why would a number of millions and millions of fans become upset and do a class action lawsuit because they didn't get Taylor Swift tickets? There is a group of people out there that love to be inspired. They love to be inspired. They watch the award shows, the Oscar shows, the American Choice Awards, the Grammys. Why? Because people love to be inspired. So how did Robert Hollis become an inspiration to people? Most times I don't think I am. But all I do is I get inspired by other people, including today, to watch this small guy named Messi work his whole entire life to achieve his dream. And when I realized that more people watched the World Cup than the Super Bowl, wow. World Cup started in 1930 as a place for professional soccer players, football players to compete against each other. Man, the best of the best of the best play every 4 years. And billions of people all over the world watch them play. Why? See, I think that's why people don't get it. Why are you so excited to watch NASCAR? Why are you a sports fan? Why do you like this? Because I love to be inspired. I don't care if I'm watching the X Games, figure skaters, gymnasts, Paralympics. Oh my God. Don't get me started. I love watching human potential. And let me end with this. You know you got it in you. You know that there's things that happen and you listen to a song or you watch and there's something, oh my God. You are right? Yeah. There was just, oh my God, there's just something in my eye. I'm okay. And most people in the world fight not to feel that. I'm a crybaby. I watch my people that I've introduced to this industry shine and walk the stage and get trophies, and I'm the biggest baby in the world. Why? Because I had the courage. I got inspired, and I reached out to people so that I can connect them with something that can inspire them and give them hope for them and their family. So that's why I'm consistent. That's why I consistently reach out. I don't care if I miss a couple or I run into a couple of trolls that should have been on Twitter or they're involved in another business. I parade them. I seen today that someone got an award. I think it was John and Michelle Barnes. Did a post. She was with Mo Dare and she gave a post to John and Nadia Milton that are dear friends of mine. They did a testimonial for me. And I put congrats on there. I see other people in other companies even getting a new job or a promotion. I'm celebrating everyone. I'm giving everyone praise and recognition. Instead of beating everybody down, saying my company's better than theirs. No, you give out what you want. If you want love, you want connection, you want praise and recognition, you want to be inspirational, then you got to plug it in and then plug it back out. God bless you. I love and appreciate you very, very much. Please share this with people that need to be inspired. And if no one's giving you permission to be inspired, to be fulfilled, be happy, let me give that to you. Let me give that to you because my mentors gave it to me. Love and appreciate you. Talk to you on the next video.